Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Is the day very close? The day is very, very, very close. Glad tidings for the believers. But before the easy days are going to be here, the harder days are going to be here. Very difficult days, they are going to come. Very dark days, they're going to come. The believer is not going to feel sad of these days. The believer is going to feel happy in these days. Yes, he will. Why? Because that is the time when the believer is going to say, now I'm going to show my faith. Now I'm going to take my faith and to make it into action. Now I'm going to do something for the sake of Allah. I'm not here just thinking, waiting for the good days to come. Now I will work for the sake of Allah. Yes, Islam is rising. Real Islam is rising. Is not Islam rising because billions of people they are becoming Muslims? No. Islam is rising because now the appearances of Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam, his appearance is very, very close. The appearance of Hazrat Mahdi, the appearance of the Khalifa, their appearance is upon us. Inshallah Rahman, it will happen in our lifetime, very soon. Not just in our lifetime, very quickly, in a few years. Our duty is to prepare for that. And there's a lot of things to prepare. Because so many Muslims, they are also wanting to hear this. And they're saying, okay, we love it, alhamdulillah, but their lives continue in their own selfish way. No, it cannot be. Because we have to prepare for those days. And when those days come, there is work for us to do. Before we can have the glad tidings of life here in this world, where we're going to have a taste of the paradise. Because now, beginning, we have to understand what is the evil that is inside of us. How much we have been in the system of Dajjal and how much we have been brainwashed in that system to get rid of it. Then, once we've done that, and we have enough strength and enough power, then Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam may use us to fight against the big Dajjal that time. That is the glad tidings for the believer. The believer's glad tidings is not because we're going to be living in Jannat time when Isa alayhi salam is going to come. It's not, oh, we're going to see this, we're going to have so much gold, we're going to have so much karamat. No. The believer, because the believer is a servant. And the servant, that Abdullah, he feels most happy when he is serving. Whoever heard of a servant who is not serving? There's not a servant. Servant feels best and happiest when he is serving. And inshallah Rahman, that is our intention, to fix ourselves in order to serve Allah and His Prophet ﷺ, to serve Hazrat Mahdi and Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam when the time comes. That will give us honor. Other than that, just to sit and to enjoy doesn't give us honor too much. But the days, it is very close. Our duty is to sit and to wait, prepare ourselves, lead a simple life, not to be running around so much, not to be going collecting the dunya so much. Lead a simple life and be with the salihin, be in a jama'at, to keep that alive in your heart, because it gets to be a routine and people may get tired. They have been waiting. It's not only us who has been waiting. They have been waiting. Sahabe Kiram waited. That was 1400 years ago. They were waiting for Dajjal and they were waiting for Mahdi. The way that 124,000 prophets were waiting for the Prophet ﷺ, and they were teaching their nation that the Prophet may come in our lifetime. And they say, if the Prophet comes, all my words now is ended. You have to follow that one. And 124,000 prophets, they waited for thousands of years. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ, in his time, he was telling his Sahaba Kiram about Mahdi alayhi salam and Dajjal. And he was saying it so much and so often and so heavily that the Sahaba Kiram thought that Dajjal was hiding behind them. Was hiding behind the date trees, ready to jump on them. It was so immediate, it was so urgent, and they kept it alive. They didn't just, feel like that. Then after a while, after 1 or 2 years, they left it. No, Prophet was there for 23 years. 23 years, it continued. After the Prophet passed, that spirit of waiting for Hazrati Mahdi, that spirit of looking out for the signs of Dajjal, was with the Sahaba Kiram, was with the Tabi'in, was with the Tabi'ins, continuing 1400 years. They have been waiting. And it may come. It's very, very close to our times. There are so many signs. Don't believe those ones who are saying, oh no, it's 5,000 years from now it's going to come. So many they are saying it is not. They completely disconnected themselves, because one thing we know, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave my nation 1.5 days. And 1 day in the presence of Allah is 1,000 years. So 1.5 days is 1,500. We are 14 something. Islam has never been apocalyptic. 1,400 years is not like Christianity in the first generation. They say, world is going to end, give up everything, die. And then after another 100 years, maybe he's going to come to it. Another 100 years, I don't think he's going to come anytime soon. Then they start building things, and by that time it was already too late. They couldn't, so many things they lost, so many people, they're eaten by lions. So Islam was not like that. There was a time when Islam reached 1,000 years. I believe it was during Imam Suyuti's time, if I'm not wrong. And people were very concerned that it was going to be Qiyamah. And he said, no, it is not, very clearly. Islam is not a guessing game. There are scholars and there are saints who understand the Zahir ilm and the Batin ilm. The internal knowledge and the external knowledge. They understand. But he's saying it's not happening now, but maybe 400, 500 years from now it is going to happen. Now we've reached into that era. There's so many signs of that, and we're coming closer and closer to that time, inshallah rahman. So prepare yourself, keep yourself clean. Inshallah, we will reach to those days in safety. But do not underestimate the fitna of Dajjal. Do not underestimate. If you think fitna of Dajjal, you are going to be saved, that time you're not going to be saved. Because Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, he says, Ya Rabbi, protect me from the fitna of Dajjal. Even Prophet is saying, begging Allah to protect him from the fitna of Dajjal. Don't be complacent. Don't be thinking, oh, it's not going to affect me. It will affect you, because the fitna of Dajjal is going to test even those ones in the graves. And we are already living in the system of Dajjal. We are already living in the fitna. So if you don't understand that this world, right now, this world is always a fitna, but is now 100 times more fitna because we're living in the time of Dajjal, waiting for the time of Mahdi alayhi salam to come. If you don't believe that, if you don't see the signs, if you're not understanding, if you're not pulling yourself away from that, then I cannot tell you anything. Then you're completely lost, you're completely drunk. Then continue with that until you wake up. There's so many scholars, so many sheikhs, they are saying, no, don't worry about it, everything is fine. This is the time of Mahdi. This is so beautiful, everything is so... What, you need to be a saint to understand this whole world is, every day it is going worse and worse? That we're destroying everything? Inshallah Rahman, may we be in safety.